Hi coders, welcome you all in my YouTube channel MauryaTech. In our last video, we have learned about the basics of C programming language, in which we have learned about constants, variables, data types, etc. And in last, we have done two sample questions. So in today's video, we are going to learn about the operators in C and statements in C language. Operators are the symbol we used between two operands. For now, just learn a little about operands. That operands are the two variables between which we apply any operator. So operator work as what will be our output means whether we are subtracting or adding two values to anything. We have 6 types of operator in C programming language. Arithmetic operator, relational operator. This operator tells us the relation between two operands. Logical operator. This operator tells us the logic between two operators. Bitwise operator. This operator works in between the operations done in between 0 and 1. Assignment operator. Assignment operator are used to assign value to a variable. Ternary operator. These are conditional operator. Let me show you an example of relational operator. So let's first open our code editor. Now create a new file as practice.c. Now in this, write this code. This is our header file, our main input. So here is my code in which I use our relational operator, that is equal to, which means it will check our value that left side is equal to right side or not. Let's save this program and run it. Our command. Here you can see our output is 1, which means our value is correct. In C language, we don't have our true and false. Here 1 means true and 0 means false. Let's change this value. 4 equals to 3, which is not correct. Now save this program and run again. Here you can see our output is 0, which means false. So our next example on logical operator. This operator is used where we have to check two conditions together, and this includes all this. Our logical operator contain all these symbols. Now create a program for this. Let's change this value. Now here I write my program for logical operator, in which on left side we have 4 greater than 2, which is true, and on right side we have 3 greater than 4, which is false. Let's check what will be our output. Save this program and run it. Here you can see our output is 0. Now change this value to 5. Now our both sides are true. Let's check it. Here you can see our output is 1 now. So through this example you will get to know that in our logical operator, if in any side we have false value, then the output will be false, and if we have true value on both sides, then the output will be true. Which means if there is only a single false, then our output definitely will be false. Now our next example, let's create it. This is our header file, int main. Here I have taken 3 variables a, b, c, and I assign the value to it, and I have taken another variable as result. Now here our code is completed now. In our first statement, I have used our double equals to, in which it will check the value of left side and right side. And after that, if the value of our left and rights are equal, then the result will be our true or false. And in second statement, I have used same thing. But after that, in our third statement, I have used this exclamatory sign, which means the value of a is not equals to b, and it will check the value, and if it is true, then the result will be our 1, otherwise 0. Now let's save this program and run it. Now here you can see our first output is 1, which means true. So let's check it. Here a equals to b, the value of a is 5 and b is 5, so which means they both are equal. And then on right side we have c is greater than b. Here 10 is greater than 5, which is true. That's why our output is 1. Now in second statement we have a equals to b, which means the value of a equals to b, which means 5 is equals to 5. That is true. But on right side we have c is less than b, which is false. That's why our output is false. After that we have our exclamatory the value of a is not equals to b. Here 5 is equals to 5, which is false here. So our output is 1. Now after that we have our last statement, in which we have checked a is equals to b, which is not true, but our output is 0. If you noticed here, we have the output as true and false correct in our first and second statement, but in third and fourth statement we have our output opposite. This is because of not operator. This exclamatory sign is known as not operator in C language. These operators work just opposite of above, means if the output will be false, this make it true, and if the output will be true, this will make it false. So this is the key difference between logical and relational operator. Our exclamatory sign is our logical operator, and our equals to is our relational operator. I hope guys you have understand this program. Now our next topic is statements or instructions in C. Statements or instructions are the step-by-step process which tell us about how to write a program. Every program is built with a predefined instructions using predefined statements, so you can't skip any statement while programming in C. In C programming we have 3 types of instructions: type declaration statement, arithmetic statement, and control statement. These all C programming statements work according to their names, which means First one is type declaration statement. Type declaration are the statements or instructions where we declare the type of variable in our code. For example, go to our code editor. Here you can see I have declared our variable a as integer, int a equals to 5. Here this is an example of type declaration in which I declare a variable name as or variable type as integer. The main and important point here which is to be remembered is we should always have to declare the variable before using it, which means we can't use our variable value before declaring it. And another important point is we can't use or declare this variable in single statement, which means you have to first declare the variable in one statement and then use it in another statement. You can't do both these in single statement. Like here I will show you in our code editor. So let's make a new program. So here in this statement I have declared the variable a data type is integer and b data type is integer value. Now I have assigned the value of a into b, which is right to left. So this is our valid statement. But if I write this, so here this is our invalid statement. This is because we can't declare all the variables or assign the value of variable in a same statement. Here I am assigning the value of 6 to z and z to y and y to x. The assigning value always come from right to left. So this is incorrect value. Now our next topic is arithmetic statements. Arithmetic means where we do mathematical calculations like addition, multiplication, etc. In these type of statements, we use our mathematics and its methods. To start coding in arithmetic statements, we have to first include our maths library in our code. For example, go to our code editor. Here I have included this library, and after that I have to include our maths library. So this is our maths library. So this library contains all the functions and formula of our mathematics to use in our code. For example, we have our value a plus b. So here a and b are known as operands and the addition sign is known as operator. This sign is known as operator, and here a and b are operands. In this statement we are adding two operands using our addition operator. Operator are the symbol or sign who tell us about which operation is going in between our operands, whether we are getting addition, subtraction or multiplication, etc. Let's take an example. First delete this. Now int a equals to 2. So here is our example in which I have declared the value of int a equals to 2 and int b equals to 5. Now I have taken another variable as sum in which I add both our variables a and b. Now after that I am going to print our output. Let's save this program and run it. Here you can see our output is 7, which is a sum of 5 and 2. In arithmetic statements, we always write our operations in right hand side and the value of our operands after using operator will be stored in the variable of our left hand side. In arithmetic statements, we have some valid and invalid statements. For example, here we have a equals to b plus c, and on right side we have b plus c equals to a. On left side this is a valid statement, on right side we have invalid statement. This is because I already told you earlier, in arithmetic statements we always write our operations in right hand side like this, and the value of our operand after operator will be stored in the variable of our left hand side like here. But on right side we have just opposite of that. After that we have a equals to b multiply c. On right side a equals to b c. In our C language we can't use like our mathematics in which we directly write bc, which means multiplication. But in C language if we write this is considered as our string. After that here we have a equals to b by c. On the right side we have a equals to b power c, which is a invalid statements. Next we have our modular operator, which is also known as modulo, which is denoted as this percent sign. Let's take an example for this. So this is our code in which I use two variables a and b and assign the value 4 and 2 to their respectively. After that I have taken another variable as a and as answer. After that I apply up my formula answer equals to a modulo b. Now this will gives you reminder. Let's save this program and run it. Here you can see our remainder is 0. When we divide 4 by 2, the remainder will be 0. Let's change the value here, 4 to 16 and b to 10. Let's save this program and run again. Here you can see our output is 6. When we divide 16 by 10, the remainder will be 6. Modulo operator always works in integer, not in real number or any other. Now our next topic is type conversion in C programming. It is referred to the conversion of output from one data type to other data type. For example, if we have one int data type value and other is float data type value, then the output would be float type. This is because the size of float is greater than the size of int, and the output would be definitely greater to that. For example, int plus float gives our output as float, but int plus int gives our output as integer. Let's take an example. Just remove this. Now so this is our first example in which we are multiplying two values. Now let's take another example. Now save this program and run it. Here our first value output is correct, but the second is incorrect. This is because the output must be float, and we have used here %d, which is for integer, and here we have to use %f. Let's change it to %f. Now save this program and run again. Here you can see our output is there. So this is the example of type conversion in C programming. On our first statement we have used our type conversion in int and int, and in second we are converting a float into integer, but the float value is greater, that's why our output is float. In C programming language, we have two types of conversions. First is implicit conversion and second is explicit conversion. Implicit conversions is automatically done by the compiler, which means we don't have to do anything to search. But in explicit conversion, compiler doesn't do anything. You have to convert it by your own. Those conversions in which a smaller value is converted into a larger value, like int to float, are called as implicit conversions. And those conversions in which the larger value is converted into a smaller value than those conversion is known as explicit conversion, because these conversions are not done by compiler automatically. For example, float to int. Let's see an example in our code editor. Remove this. So in this example, we are converting a float value into integer value, which is an explicit conversion example. And for that, we are forcefully converted it into integer. That's why I'm using here integer in our bracket before our float value. Let's save this program and run it. Here you can see our 888 or 48 value is totally removed, which is done by the compiler during its type conversion. Now we have some operator precedences or priority orders to work with operator. Let's check them out. Now we have to follow this rule while solving mathematical calculations, like first we have to do multiplication, after this we have to do division, then we have to apply modulo, etc. Now if we have same precedence operator in same statement, then a new rule will work named as associativity rule. It tells that if someday this situation comes, then always solve from left to right. Let's take an example. Now in this example, I have taken a variable named as a and its data type is integer. On right side we have our values 5 multiplied by 3 minus 3 multiplied by 2. After this I am going to save this program and let's check what will be our output. Now here our output is 9. Let's check it. First 5 multiplied by 3. As I already told you, if we have same precedence in our same line or same statement, then we have to use our associativity rule. Here you have seen that we have 2 multiply, on left side 1 and right side 1. Now we have to solve it from left to right. First we have to solve our left side, that is 5 multiplied by 3, that is 15, and on right side we have our 3 multiplied by 2, that is 6. Now minus 15 minus 6 equals to 9. So that is our output. If there is a bracket in the problem, then the bracket must be solved first. Now our next major topic is control statements. These are the statements which control the flow of program, which means where program has to stop and where program has to ask to input, etc. These control statements are used to determine the flow of C program. We have 4 types of control statements in C. First is sequence control, second is decision control, third is loop control, and fourth one is case control. Till now we have done any coding in our series is all related to sequence control. If you want to take decision in code, then you will be use decision statement. Means if in a code we want to change out our output according to user input, if user input alphabets, we have to print alphabet, or if user input number, then we have to print number. Then these are called decision control statements. Now if you want to play or output something in your code again and again, Then we use loop control statements. This will make a loop according to our need and requirement, and it will run until and unless you stop it by yourself or a program code got its desired input. Now we have case control statement. In this type, we have some cases in which we use a special or particular control statements. Let's take some examples for this. First, I am going to show you example of decision control statements. Let's first jump to our code editor. Now here, create a new file. So this is our code now. In this, first I take a variable named as n. After that, I ask the user to enter a number. Then I store that number in our variable as n. Then I applied our control statement, that is decision control statement. In this, I check first our input as if user input is greater than 100, then we have to print this statement, that is you entered a higher number over 100. And if user enter a number less than 100, then we have to print this statement, the enter number is %d, that is our output is integer. Then we have to enter the value of n, that is stored in our n variable. Let's save this program and run it using our commands. Now it is asking us to enter a number. Let's first enter a number, that is 15. Here you can see the enter number is 15 because we enter a number less than 100. Now run this program again and enter number above 100, that is 115. Here you can see it is giving us output the you entered a higher number over 100. This is an example of decision control statement. In this example, it is clear that I have used a variable named as n. Then I take input from user using printf function. After that, I use scanf function to store the value of user input in variable n. Then I apply decision control statement in which I instruct the compiler to first check whether the enter number is above 100 or not. If above 100, then print the output that you enter a higher number over 100. And if user enter a number under 100, then print it on screen. Now we have our next example, that is loop control statements. Let's create a new file first. Now this is our header file. I am using k as a variable in this program. Now I am going to use our loop control statement. So this is our program. Here I used k as a variable. Then I applied our loop control statement in which our initial value is 1 and our final value is 5, which is equal to 5, not 5. After that I applied my increment operation. This k++ tells the compiler that we have to increase the value from 1 to 5. After that I apply for printf function and then our k value. Now save this program and run it. Here you can see our output is 1 2 3 4 5. Now you can change this value 5 to 10. Run again. Here you can see our output is 1 to 10. And if I remove this equal to from here, then the value will be up to 9. Here you can see because we have removed equals to sign from here. Here it is a basic simple example of loop control statement in which I took k as variable and then apply our loop control statement. For now, don't try to understand or learn these things. Just focus on how it works. Then you will be easily able to understand how it is written here. Then take the initial value of variable is 1 and up to which we are going to repeat, which is 5 here. And if you leave this reach value, then our code will be run up to infinity. After this I use k++, which is indicated that what will be our output print means, increasing value or decreasing value. This control statement is used to be very careful because if you remove this value from here, then this code will be run infinite. Let's check it out. Here you can see this control our output is generating. You can stop it from going here and click on this cycle bin button, kill terminator. Now our code has been stopped. So always be careful while using control statement in your code. So that's all for today. See you all in our next video. Till then, enjoy coding and upgrade yourself. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe our channel for such amazing videos.